Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Marilyn is trying to sabotage my marriage and be a homewrecker.
Is she a monster-in-law?
Adam is disrespectful, vulgar, rude.
Or is her son-in-law the problem?
Adam has trust issues with women.
Including the ones he's seeing while he's married to you?
She calls Adam selfish.
He buys things that he can't afford.
And violent.
Got an email from hotel security. Were you fighting in the room, yelling and screaming?
Well, not yelling. There's louder voices.
And what happened that finally led to this?
You know what? Shut the and let me talk.
No, whoa.
Just a second now.
No.
This is
no. You don't talk that way on my stage. Are we clear on that? Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I'm trying to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, we have all heard of monster-in-laws, right? Well, today, Marilyn would like to nominate her son-in-law, Adam, for the title. She claims he is the most controlling, abusive, disrespectful, lazy, entitled freeloader she has ever met or even heard of. Marilyn says Adam had the nerve to lie around her house for free without lifting a finger to help. He paid zero rent, but still managed to splurge on cars, motorcycles, trips to the tanning salon, and some high-priced jewelry, all while his wife and children were under her roof eating her food. She claims Adam is vulgar and lazy, and this in-law should be outlawed from the family right away. Take a look.
Living with Adam is like being a prisoner in your own home. He's disrespectful, rude, vulgar, selfish. Up until recently, Adam and Miranda were all living in my house. Right now, Adam does not because we kicked him out. Adam sent me a very rude voicemail after I kicked him out of the house.
You know what? You're a real piece of work. Everyone hates you. Nobody likes you. You're just a dumb idiot. Go wreck someone else's life.
Instead of Adam taking care of the family, he buys motorcycles, cars, expensive cologne, watches, boots. Adam is not a good provider for my daughter. Adam has a very violent past. He's been arrested 30 times. Most of those arrests were for assault. I am petrified for my daughter. Adam is verbally abusive. He tells her right to her face that she's unattractive. You're my daughter. You deserve better. He broke Miranda's iPhone when he was angry at her. My belief is that Miranda is afraid of Adam. She's afraid to leave him. He doesn't respect you at all. I believe that Adam's going to kill them one day.
Well, Marilyn's daughter Miranda has a totally different take on Adam. She says Adam may not be perfect, but he is a good husband and a good father.
My mom doesn't like Adam, and Adam has an issue with my mother. My mother did a background check on Adam and found out that he had been arrested about 30 times. It didn't scare me. It kind of caught my eye. He had a few domestic violence charges. He has not shown any signs of domestic violence towards me. I don't get it. Have you ever tried to understand his anger or frustration or things that's going on in his head? Adam does not verbally abuse me. He has said some things that degrade me a little bit. At times he'll say I'm not the best mother, or I don't quite know how to take care of my kids, or sometimes I'm lazy. That's definitely hurtful. My mother sees my husband as a monster, and I see a totally different side of Adam. I am Team Adam. Adam wears the pants in the family. I love Adam, and I do want to be with Adam.
Well, if you got a family, and I know you do, then you want to pay attention today, because I want to be talking about common sense, common denominators, and common solutions. Now, you're frustrated, right?
Very frustrated.
And you think you're being disrespected in your own home.
I know I am.
You think your daughter's being disrespected.
Yes.
But she doesn't seem to be bothered by it. What is it that you think is out of bounds here? What's he doing that's got you so upset?
Calling me vulgar names.
Like what?
Calls me a calls me idiot, fool, stupid, ass, all kinds of names. He's living in my house. He shouldn't be calling me those kind of names.
I'm not saying this is true, but let's just assume you're triggering that in some way.
He tells my daughter to shut up, and I tell him that's not okay, to not talk to her that way. He's told me she's lazy on the phone and that she should be able to get everything accomplished in the day. She has 3 kids under the age of 3.
So
and he thinks she's lazy.
He calls you.
He calls me and criticizes her on the phone
and puts her down
to me.
to you.
Yes.
So he invites you into the relationship dynamic. He says, your daughter's lazy.
Yes.
She's not attractive when she's pregnant. No, by the way, I cheated on her.
Right. Who tells your mother-in-law?
Okay, is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Is that okay with you?
No. I don't want him telling my mother about our marriage or business.
Let's talk about what he told her.
The whole cheating thing was actually right at the beginning of our marriage.
But what about the time he cheated just a year and a half ago?
That was, I know, but that was because I told him I hated him and I didn't want to be married anymore.
And that justifies the cheating?
It doesn't justify it, no.
She says just this year he bought jewelry when you didn't have money to live. She says in 2013 he bought 2 new cars, was going tanning, did get his hands on $600, blew it, instead of saving it for a down payment on an apartment. True? False?
True, yes. All of that is true. But that's because he sold them to use the money for the family. So if he purchased something, he sold it.
So he buys things that he can't afford, and then he has to sell them to provide the necessities.
Yes.
I
Is this
have a
okay
problem
with
that.
you? I mean, do you talk about money with him?
Yes, we talk about money.
Okay, I thought you weren't allowed to ask about his paychecks.
He has trust issues with women.
Including the ones he's seeing while he's married to you?
No, he's only with me.
Does he trust those?
I have no idea.
Which castle is he king of?
When he lived in my home with us, rent-free, he said, I'm the king of my castle. What castle? You don't have a castle. You don't even have an apartment.
Well, you know, we're talking about him like he isn't here, but he is. So let's hear what Adam has to say.
I do believe that Marilyn is trying to sabotage my marriage and be a homewrecker. Every time I go over there, she stirs a pot and makes it unpleasant. She's just negative, negative, negative. When I was at Marilyn's house, I did say that I was the king of the castle because my rule, my rules. But if we're renting her basement out and I tell my kids to do something and she doesn't like what I decide on, and then she turns around and she says, well, I don't like that and that's wrong. Well, excuse me, I'm the king. This is my house. If you don't like it, you need to turn around and walk away because this is our marriage. Marilyn thinks that I am so selfish that I put myself before my family. Yeah, I bought a car and I bought a motorcycle. Let's get one thing straight. People have hobbies. I think every once in a while it's okay to go buy yourself something. If it's a gun, then why not? Is that a crime? If you sit there and you go to work day in, day out and you're providing for your family, are you just supposed to be a slave and a paycheck? No. You know what? This is the land of the free, man. I bust my butt, blood, sweat, and hard-earned money for everything I got for my family. And that's the honest truth. I have not laid my hands on Miranda. Miranda and I do not get physically abusive. The thing that goes on is that we just have disputes. If you think relationship is supposed to be, oh, hi, could you please pass the butter? Oh, thank you. Really? You're not living life. What the hell am I supposed to do when she calls me a person only takes so much before they're going to say something back. I turn around and I say, you know what, you're a I had enough of her crap. I need Marilyn to back off our marriage. That way we can get our marriage back on track and move forward.
She is not very complimentary of you.
Right.
I admit that wholeheartedly, but you're not renting my basement when you haven't paid me a dime. That's called freeloading, Adam.
Put it to you like this, all right? You opened up your home to us, yes. I rented my apartment for the last one we were in for like a year, and I was paying between $1,050 and $1,100. My wife wasn't even working. I'm paying all the money, paying all the bills on the car, the bike, the insurance, food, all this stuff, whatnot. I even threw a birthday party for you. As a matter of fact, even your last birthday that you just had, I bought your presents and your cake when no one else got you anything.
That's
You
not
bought her a birthday cake?
Yeah.
Did you write bitch on top of it?
You know, my wife came to me and she says, I need to go to my mom's birthday. She says, hey, can I buy my mom a gift? Can I buy my mom a cake? I would like to make it over there for her.
Why should she have to ask permission to do that?
I thought you said you bought her the gifts and the cake.
We did it together.
It's his money,
what you meant
but
is
it's his
you
money.
gave her permission to buy her mother a gift and a cake.
Right.
Yeah, because the reason why is that
That's
she
what
asked
you
me.
meant to say.
Yes.
You don't respect our boundaries. We ask you not to bring your handgun into our house. You spent 4 hours trying to convince me as to why you needed that handgun, how you were going to protect us all. Well, we need protecting from you.
And later,
I do not like you saying you're the king of my home. Don't you ever do that again, because
First off,
I'm
I
the king
never
of
said
my-
that.
I heard you. That's my castle.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. The shocking story that made headlines.
you wanted your eyesight removed completely.
That's right. I wanted to go blind permanently.
Why would a woman who can see
She put liquid drain cleaner into her eyes.
do the unthinkable?
I couldn't do anything but scream.
A daytime exclusive.
You can't see me right now, but I have a look of complete shock on my face.
Then on Friday, she wants their post-nup thrown out.
She says she felt bullied into this agreement.
Well, yeah, she got caught. She deceived me.
Were you cheating?
All new Dr. Phil. That's Friday.
The majority of my arguments with Marilyn are because I am defending my wife and sticking up for her. Every time I go over there, she stirs a pot and makes it unpleasant. She's sitting there trying to put me down and build herself up. She wants to sit there and put herself up on a high horse. I really don't appreciate her trying to make me out to be a bad guy. I'm actually a really nice guy. I'm actually really giving. I'm like a giving tree.
Well, Adam says he is a giver, not a taker, but if you ask his mother-in-law, Marilyn, she would disagree. She wrote to me saying she wanted her son-in-law evaluated before she would ever let him step foot back in her home.
You know, I've been working on my education for my career for over 2 years now, and I finally got it where I need it, okay? I've been pulling myself up through the bootstraps, trucking. After all the vocab, you guys put me down. And you know what? You put my wife down. And that's why I get so upset, is when you put my wife down, I stick up. So
I'm not
if
the
she's-
one who's doing this to your family, Adam. You're
Stop.
the one that's spending the
Wait,
money.
just one second,
and
let me
making
explain.
Homeless.
Okay.
Yourself homeless.
Really?
Yes.
Let me tell you
really.
something.
Okay, but
my
the
wife had
reason why we
complications.
are-
Wait
we're-
a second. My wife had complications with a pregnancy
Exactly.
before, and she had to be put on lower tab to be stable. I was all the way out in Denver. I drove straight from Denver to Salt Lake, all right? Because no one would sit there and support my wife. And the
I
only
was
family
10
she
minutes
has,
away, Adam.
just stop
and I
for
would
1
have
second.
been there for her in a heartbeat.
All right, are you going to take a
I
second
know,
for me
but
to
you
explain?
had just had your hysterectomy. That's the thing.
Look.
You had just had your surgery.
You have the wedding going on. You had Brandon's wedding. You had
Yes.
all this stuff going on. And you were more focused about Brandon's wedding than helping my wife. But let's back up to the fact of why we were sitting there homeless. And why we're sitting there at your house and you're helping us out.
Oh, tell me why. Explain
Because my wife
that
had to be
me.
put on lower tab because when she had Berlin, you know that she had mini strokes. Well, she was having the same symptoms with Paris. And so her whole arm on her left side was going numb. So to
I
keep her
know
stable,
that.
she had to be put on. Well, they don't. They had to be put on lower tab to keep her stable. So I had to stay at home to help my wife out because no one else was there to take care of my children. And I had no other help. You know, she has you, she has her sister, she has her brother, she has
That's
her
true.
dad, and she has her stepdad. And nobody would help out my wife. So how am I
That
supposed
is
to sit
not
there
true.
and go to work and make a living?
Adam, that is not
Oh, that
true.
is so true.
I am there
Because we've
to
asked
help
you
her.
over and over and over, and you would not.
That
so
is
I
not
had to
true.
take
The
off
night
over a month
before
and a half
the
worth
wedding,
of work.
I was at your
Listen.
house when I should have been decorating for the wedding. I was over at your house helping your wife the night before Brandon's wedding, my son's wedding.
Oh, so one night out of 3 weeks when I'm sitting there doing this and I have all my bills paid for?
I
okay.
call her all
And
the
then-
time and ask her if I can help. And she says, I don't want to put that burden on you. She doesn't allow me to help her. I would have been there. I'm not working right now. I would love to help
Yeah,
her,
you know
but
why
I'm not
she doesn't
allowed.
want you to come over there?
Tell me, Adam.
Because you're such an ass to my wife.
and you're Mr. Charming, aren't you?
Listen, you had issues with all her other boyfriends before you even met me. You tell them that they're white trash and all this other bull crap. You tell them that they're no good. You sit there and you put it down.
Said
oh, whatever.
that.
Has she said that?
Well,
who did she say it to?
Remember you came into my apartment and he was there and he was smoking
And
on
every
my
time that
balcony.
we try to get away from you, you track her down and you track her down. And you sit in the parking lot and you tell I get away out on the road, and then you sit there and you harass my wife out in the parking lot and you interrogate her left and right. You did that over in Midvale.
I went to check on my daughter to make sure she's okay.
Oh, yeah,
because
right.
I worry for her life because she
And
lives
then you
with
came over and you're sitting there keep trying to pry yourself into our life. You know, if we
No,
try to exit
Adam.
and get away from the problem that keeps going on and you know, keep trying to do this, you know, first off, you need to let my wife just sit there and do what she needs to do.
How can I
She
let
has
your wife
4
do what she
children.
needs to do when she lives in my house? How can I stay out of all of this?
Then why did
Adam?
you agree for us to even stay at your house when we're trying to get our own house for the
Because
down payment?
I'm not going to leave my grandchildren in a homeless shelter again.
Well, you know what? If that was the case, you should have told me so I could have rented another apartment for the year of the lease. I had no problem paying $1,100 or $1,050 a month.
Then why did you move up?
Because we were buying a house. Don't you get it? And we already went through this. We had a sit-down talk with you and Orson about this.
But you don't respect our boundaries. We ask you not to bring your handgun into our house because I do not want a handgun in there with all these little kids around. You, instead of saying, fine, your house, your rules, you spent 4 hours trying to convince me as to why you needed that handgun, how you were going to protect us all. Well, we need protecting from you.
You know what, Marilyn? Look, you never grew up with guns your whole life. You've never been hunting. You don't know what it's like. It's a whole different ball game, okay? You're very anti-gun. And I can see why you would do that. You know, I don't know what happened in your past about guns. You said something about someone getting like shot
whose
or
house
something
are we
like that.
talking about?
Her house.
My house.
Okay.
My house. My
Just
rules,
checking.
My house.
Okay.
Yeah, but
all right,
what happens
listen,
when you say
hang
that
on, we
you're
got to
gonna
take a
have
break
the
for a
basement in
second.
the bottom?
Hold on, we got to take
You
a
know?
break for a second. Hold on, we got to take a break for a second. I've been very quiet here because I just kind of wanted to take a minute to observe the dynamic here and see what was going on. And boy, have I been going to school. Coming up, why Adam says he thinks Marilyn is jealous of her own daughter. We'll be right back.
I am sick and tired of you bashing my wife. You know
Well, is
what?
that okay for you to say that to me?
But if
It's
you
right.
don't
Nothing's
have any
okay.
anger
So
issues,
what?
Adam, why have you been arrested 30 times?
And later, we actually got an email from hotel security. Were you fighting in the room, yelling and screaming?
Well, not yelling. There is louder voices.
This November, the shocking stories that made headlines. A surrogate mom scam. She faked her pregnancies.
After 5 months, I'm told there is no baby.
How long do I have to be punished for this?
You destroyed our lives.
I am very in love with Kit Morris.
She's already married,
She wanted a divorce.
but obsessed with a country star.
He signed your back.
I got it tattooed.
You're serving your husband with a restraining order, and you've got "Marry Me, Kit Moore" painted on your window. What are you, 12?
They survived a house of horrors.
Locks on the refrigerator, blood splattered on a wall.
The children speak out for the first time.
You found some guns?
Yeah, we were gonna go inside and kill all of them.
This is the month
Did he kidnap your daughter?
He did. No.
where anything can happen.
She asked me to come get her.
You're lying.
I'm lying? Why don't you shut the hell up? I'm not going to shut my mouth. If I didn't think I'd go to jail for it, I would go across this 3 feet of floor right here and I'd take his damn head off.
Now, Orson, Marilyn's husband, is also joining us now. Thank you. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
You've had an opportunity to observe a lot of this, right?
Yes.
I started this whole thing out by saying I was going to focus today on common sense, common denominators, and common solutions. And I'm going to talk about common sense here in just a minute. I said I was just kind of watching the dynamic that was going on here. I went for, I think, about a day and a half without saying anything. That's what it felt like. I didn't say anything because I was just kind of watching what was going on. And I have a question for you, and then I want to hear from Orson and what he's observed in all this. But what are you so angry about? Just generally speaking, you seem angry. Just generally speaking.
The thing that I'm so upset about is the kinder I am towards them, it's like the more I get slapped in the face, and it's just like constant.
Perhaps you didn't hear the question. Let me go this way.
No, I heard it.
I wasn't talking about your kindness. I'm sure you have kindness. I'm talking about your anger.
Today, I'm frustrated about them
today,
bashing me.
Because I've looked at tape from other days. You just seem angry.
No, I'm actually pretty happy, like, when I'm doing my own thing and I'm with my family and hanging out with my kids. I'm actually a really happy guy, you know? The whole purpose of me trying to come here is to support my wife, because as long as I'm with my wife, she's going to love her mother no matter what. I'm not going to say, you pick between me or your mother. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we want a relationship with Marilyn and Orson. I want them to know their grandkids and my wife and us and go over there and just have, like, a barbecue. Want to have a barbecue? Want to watch a movie? Want to do whatever? Then let's just hang out. But it's too tough. Like, every time I go over there, something always happens. And it's
Right.
like...
But do you think, generally speaking, you're an angry person?
No, I think I'm just a little more intense than some people would say. I have a stronger personality, you know? That
You
kind of have a mouth
think
on them.
for a minute there, Adam, that you're that kind of guy? Because I guarantee you...
What kind of guy? Wait, back up. What kind of guy?
You're not
Orson?
the kind of guy that really wants to come over and have fun.
Oh, that's not true.
That is true. Because you know what?
What?
You walk into our house and we feel like we're on pins and needles. And I am sick and tired of you bashing my wife, calling her an and disrespecting me and
back
doing
up.
that.
Why,
no,
why did you
back
think
up.
that happened? What did she
Why-
call me? What did she
I
call
don't
me
give
before
a
that?
darn what she
swear
called
word did
you.
she
I
call
called
me?
you an ass
And I don't
you
care.
Oh, yeah.
Because
you
you know
walked
what?
by.
First.
You walked by after I
Adam,
apologized for bringing the gun in your house, and
Adam,
you walked by, and I was putting in the car, and you
you know
fell
what?
by, and you said, "You're such an ass." And I went by, and I says, "You know what?" I was gonna say, "Well, that's Mr. you," but I didn't. Instead, I said, "You're a B."
And you know what, Adam?
And that's okay.
You know
Well, is
what?
it
In your
okay for
mind.
you to say that to me? I mean, come on. You sit there and
You-
go on and on
you
and on
said-
about the house when I'm sitting there trying to
No,
things, and you don't.
name-calling is not okay. But
It's
if you
right.
don't
Nothing's
have any
okay.
anger
So
issues,
what-
Adam, why have you been arrested 30 times? Most
Okay.
of which are for assault.
No, they're not.
And you were court
Check
ordered
the record.
to
That's
go
what-
into
hey,
anger
wait a minute.
management.
No,
Wait a
there's
minute.
only like
That's what
5
you
of them
told
on there. No, there's
That's
only
Only
like 5
five
of them.
are assault.
And
Only
that's from
five.
like my
And that's
early
okay.
teens up.
So,
Yeah, right.
no anger
Okay,
issues
hold
there.
on. I did check your record. And he hasn't been arrested 30 times for anything.
Oh, he's just exaggerating them when he
No.
tells me that.
He's actually got 17 traffic charges.
Oh, okay.
Mostly traffic charges, sometimes speeding or whatever, like a lot of people get. I mean, it's a blatant disregard for authority, which seems to be rather consistent, common denominator. And then there are 5 charges that have to do with assault, sometimes involving a weapon, but there hasn't been anything for the last 6 years.
You shouldn't be judging me on my past, because that's not what it is. The
I'm
past
not.
is the past, and you let it lie. Yes, you did,
I'm not
because
judging
you wouldn't
you
have brought
on
it
your
and threw it in
past.
my face.
I'm judging
I'm
you on the
judging
way
you on your
act
past.
now.
Okay, well, you know what?
Because
That's
I
not
said you
fair.
got 6 years that you've been clean here. That's a good thing.
Well, the thing is
I'm
that
using that to predict the
regardless
future.
of what's happened, it makes me who I am today, or
But
whatever.
you're still homeless, Adam.
Yeah.
You came
You
to
know?
me and you said that you would pay $250 a month. You
We
haven't
just
paid
went
me
over
a
this.
damn
You must have
dime.
missed that conversation.
You know what? I watched it, but you haven't paid me a damn
I know,
dime.
but you know why?
Yeah,
because
why-
you kicked him out.
You
said
kicked me out
he's
even
not
before I was
gonna
even
handle
there.
it.
So I was sitting over there.
You're still
I know.
the head of your home.
Okay,
I'm
so
the head
But
of my
that's
home,
because
and I
we're
don't.
apart
I do
now.
not like
I don't
you
have
saying
the
you're the
money to
king
help
of
you
my
guys.
home. Don't you ever do that again? Because
First off,
I'm
I
the
never
king
said that.
Our
I
house.
heard you.
I
You were
said that
standing
I
on
was
the
the king of my
stairway
house. That was
in my house, and you said you
Oh
were the
my
king
God.
of your
Or Orson.
castle. That's my castle.
I know, but in our home, that's how it is.
First
Right,
off,
just
I wasn't
like
even
you don't have
referring
Any
there.
say in your home.
Second
at
off-
all, because
That's not
he's
true.
the king
No.
and he controls you.
No,
he
the
ordered you
argument
around.
is between you two.
Up next,
No,
despite
it's
what her
between
mother
all.
says, why Miranda thinks Adam is a great father and a great husband. We'll be right back. Whoa.
Just a second now.
No.
This is bullcrap, man.
No. You don't talk that way on my stage.
Adam told my husband that he did not find pregnant women attractive and that he had cheated on Miranda during every pregnancy. Who tells their in-laws, oh, I cheat on your daughter every pregnancy? I don't want to hear that kind of stuff. I'm not surprised that Miranda puts up with the cheating. I see her as very beaten down.
Were you okay with your marriage dynamic?
At the beginning. At the beginning, no. But things have progressed and gotten a lot better, yes.
So, as it is today,
right,
it's going okay?
Yes.
You're all right with it as it is now?
Yes.
Okay.
Even though you don't have a home to live in? Sorry.
If I may.
Yes, you may.
At some point, I've got to ask some questions here, because I want to try to guide this a little bit towards something constructive instead of, because y'all don't need me to yell. I can just get you a room down the hall, because we got really thick walls, unlike the hotel. We actually got an email from hotel security, and it said security received a call in the morning about fighting and cursing coming from this room, your room. Later in the day, guests were fighting in the restaurant. The husband is very rude and confrontational. The husband began yelling at guest services agent. So, what are you yelling at the hotel about?
Yelling at the hotel about?
You don't even remember?
No.
You were yelling about a sippy cup in the restaurant.
A sippy cup? We weren't yelling.
We were
weren't
trying to
even
figure
yelling.
out where we had left the sippy cup.
We were looking for the sippy cup. I had asked the front lady if she's seen the sippy cup. That was it. And if she's seen it, she said she'd bring it down. I said, okay, thank you.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a sippy cup. If you find it, would you let me know?
That's what I said.
Okay, well, thank you much. And so security thought they needed to let us know about that.
You know what? I don't know.
Were you fighting earlier in the room, yelling and screaming?
The people next door had a baby, and their baby was trying to sleep, and me and my wife were trying to discuss what was going on with everything we're dealing with right now, okay? And it was in the middle of the day.
Animated?
Yeah, I would say that it did.
It's because of the situation.
Everyone's
We're
under a
both
lot of
upset
stress.
and stressed out.
You know, this whole time that we've been here has
so
not
there
been
was
happy.
yelling and screaming in the room.
Well, not yelling. There was louder voices.
Okay, let's not call it yelling.
Okay.
Let's call it accelerated verbalizations. How about that?
Okay, that'll work.
Okay, we'll call it accelerated verbalizations. There were accelerated verbalizations coming from the room, enough so that people complained to management, which triggered security, enough that they contacted us and felt like we needed to know about it. Okay, well, let's just get to common sense.
Okay.
Okay? If this is your trigger point, if this is your problem here,
yeah,
you're a grown man. You're a Castle King guy.
Then
why in God's name, why in God's name are you living with these people? If they're calling you names, if they're disrespecting your wife, common sense. I've always had a basic rule. You can call me a sumbitch, but you're going to do it long distance. Mm-hmm. Okay? If if you don't like me, it's okay. Not everybody likes me.
Right.
If you don't like me, that's okay. You can call me names, but you're going to do it from down yonder. You're not going to do it from here, because one of us is going down yonder.
Right.
Why don't you move on?
Well, the reason why is because we were trying to work on it. We kept trying to work on it, and give him another chance.
Trying to have that
When we went
Give
over
us
here,
another
when we came over here,
Hold it.
No, when
Give
we
us
came over
another
here,
chance.
the whole way that
That's
they
not
presented
the
it
truth.
was,
we've given you three
you're welcome in our
opportunities,
home. We
and
could do
on
this,
three
and we all want to get
opportunities,
along.
You're the one who has called my wife an You're the one, Adam, who has been down on us.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I did
here's
call
the
her
here's
that.
the question
There's a
for
reason
you
for
then.
it too, Orson.
All right, then here's a question for you, Mr. Let me explain something to you. Why do you keep bringing these people into your home? If there's somebody calling my wife a disrespectful name, game over.
I understand.
They don't get a second bite at that apple. It's done.
That's why it's not
for the
living in our home
grandchildren.
right now.
It's for the grandchildren, because he doesn't put a roof over their head.
Oh, really?
He says that he's a man's man, and yet a man's man is a guy who works his butt off, makes sure that he has a roof over their head before he buys a new car, before he buys a motorcycle, before he buys...
Let me tell you something. I've been busting my ass from day one. Ever since I stepped in this relationship. I was up in Alaska freaking crabbing and doing halibut and black.
Yeah, you know what?
Shut the up and let me talk.
No, whoa.
This is bullcrap, man.
No, you don't talk that way on my stage.
Okay.
Are we clear on that?
Yes.
Okay, we don't do that. We don't do that. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. Why would a woman who can see
I wanted to go blind permanently.
do the unthinkable?
She put liquid drain cleaner into her eyes.
That's tomorrow.
Marilyn claims Adam is the son-in-law from hell. She is angry with herself for not stopping her daughter from rushing into marriage after only knowing him for a few months. That's simply not your choice, Marilyn. I mean, your daughter is of age. She can do what she wants to do. Your daughter reports that she has a workable relationship and a future with Adam. I question whether or not that's a choice you would make for her, or that you would make for her, or many people would make for her because of his intensity. I think you've got a chip on your shoulder. I think you have said a lot of things to your wife that you told us you say. This isn't what anybody else has said you say. You have said a number of things to and about your wife that I would think would be unacceptable to you. But you're saying, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. And I think you're doing that because you feel like this is, I've got to either side with my mother or side with my husband, and that's simply not true. Whether your mother's in this situation or not, the two of you are adults, you're parents with children. Now, you have 4 children, correct?
Correct.
3 between the two of you?
Yes.
And then another child that you have from a former relationship.
Right.
Now, you have children from another relationship as well, correct?
Yes.
4?
Yes.
So you have 7 children?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and the other 4 children are where?
I have a set of twins that lives with their mom, and then a boy and girl that live with their mom.
Okay. And do you have any contact with any of the 4?
No.
Is it possible that you need to change the way you behave inside a relationship? Given that you have 4 children with 2 other women, you have no relationship with any of those 4 children, those 2 women are gone and out of your life, you're now in a relationship with this woman, you have 3 children here. The best predictor of future behavior is relevant past behavior. So if you look at that, you're likely to be woman number 3 with 3 children with him that he has no relationship with, if the past is going to predict the future. If something doesn't happen to change that, then that's going to happen again here.
Right.
I know I'm not perfect. I know I have a lot of my own personal issues that I try to work on. But I've done anger management. I've already done that.
But how's that working for you?
It's not working too well.
Yeah, so listen, you may have gone through anger management class, but you need more than anger management.
I know that there's a lot of different areas that I need to work on, okay? And I'm not perfect, but I do the best that I can do.
You've got my undivided attention right now, and if there's a question that you wanted to ask that would have the chance to improve your situation, your life and your family, what would that question be? Think about that. I'm going to let you ask it right after the break. We'll be right back.
Do you need Dr. Phil's help? Text Phil to 88500 and share your story for a chance to appear on the show. Standard message and data rates may apply.
We have a
If you're going to be in the Los Angeles area and you would like free tickets, go to drphil.com and click Be in the Audience, or you can call 323-461-PHIL. That's 323-461-7445.
Adam is very controlling. Miranda used to have this wonderful sparkle, twinkle in her eye. And it's gone. It's not there anymore. I was looking at the pictures of her before she met Adam. She doesn't even look like the same person. I told Miranda I felt like part of her had died, and she said, I don't care anymore.
I went to break saying if you had a question you wanted to ask me, you've got the undivided attention. What's your question? If there was some, what if? Just play the what if game with me.
Okay.
What if there's something you need to focus on? What if there's something that I could help you with? What if there's something I'd say that could change your course of events? What if there's something that could happen where all of a sudden you weren't in such conflict, you weren't in such stress, you weren't feeling like it was such a battle all the time? What would that question be? What do you want to know?
Probably the question would be to see exactly maybe like what route, if there's like something else that could either help myself maybe react differently or handle different situations differently or deal with everything and deal with when people piss me off, you know, or something like that. Or when I get into arguments when people just keep leashing out and, you know, what are you supposed to do in that situation, you know? Because, I mean, I can only take so much from someone before stuff goes south, you know? It's like, okay, you can take it and you can take it and you got to stick up. And then it's like, well, why you got to feel like you got to stick up if she's sitting there and just keeps battering you? And then you're like, well, if you don't like it, you know, walk away. If you don't like it, walk away, go somewhere else.
You know what would have made my whole week? It's just made my whole week.
What's that?
I'd have just gone home tonight and said, he just made my whole week. If you would have just said something simple like, how do I get this chip off my shoulder? How do I get this chip off my shoulder?
Well, the reason why I'm so frustrated and irritated about the situation that's going on, that's why I got the chip on the shoulder, because they won't lay off.
They didn't hide the sippy cup.
I've known they've done it before. No, I gotta take responsibility for my own actions. You know? Yeah. The way that
Okay. Zip it. Let me talk to you for a second.
All right.
Look, I get what you're saying about all the world you've been living in. I get it. But you gotta, at some point, you gotta say, I gotta rise above that. I gotta require more of myself as a father, as a husband, and as a man. Want to know what's coming up on Dr. Phil? Visit our website and subscribe to our email newsletter. You'll get weekly updates, life strategies, and exclusive video that you won't find anywhere else.
Plus, on drphil.com, you can see sneak previews of upcoming shows. Log on today.
You two bring out the worst in each other. You're way too passive. You're way too passive. We teach people how to treat us. And you're all of this, you know, Millie milquetoast. You think that's a way to get along with him? It's not. You're bringing out the worst in him, and he's bringing out the worst in you.
Right.
You need to require him to treat you with dignity and respect. And you're not doing that.
Right.
And he has the ability to rise to the occasion. You got a chip on your shoulder, and you've got an air of entitlement about you because of that. And that needs to change. You need new coping skills. And I want to help you with those new coping skills. And if I make the arrangements for you to do that, and if you're traveling and going, I will fix that for you. I can fix it for you with Doctor on Demand, because it's my own company with my son Jay. We put it together. We offer medical services and psychological services that you can talk to on your computer from wherever you are. I don't care if you're on a mountaintop or in the desert. You can get there and you have your own therapist that you're looking at eyeball to eyeball on your smartphone or your laptop or your iPad, whatever, that you can talk to privately about these things. And I'm going to hand pick someone for you and tell them exactly where I think they need to start, exactly what I think they need to do, because I don't think you're as far away from turning loose of a lot of anger and learning some new skills as it might seem. Because I do think you're motivated. And I do think if you had those skills, you would use them. If I make those arrangements for you, will you do that? Will you take the professional help? Will you immerse yourself in this and figure a map out of all of this and figure a way for you two to get where you need to be?
Yes.
I will do that. I will set that up to you starting immediately. And I will do exactly the same thing for you as well. I don't want you two doing couples therapy right now because I think you need some time to work on some things yourself, as do you. This couple should never live with this couple again, ever in the history of the world. If you at home want to have your own Doctor on Demand, you can go to Google Play Store, iTunes App Store, and download the Doctor on Demand app. I want to thank all of my guests today. For more information, go to drphil.com. All right, fair enough. We're going to live separately. Aaron, thank you. It's good to meet you. We're going to work on this, man. Okay? Thanks, guys. Getting pretty competitive on this Omaze, right?
I know it.
There'll be somebody sitting next to you pretty soon.
I'm so excited. It's going to happen. They're going to be right here, right between us.
I know, but they've got to go to omaze.com/Robin to win $10. You might be sitting right next to her. You can fly to Hollywood.
Right. Get all glammed up, walk right off, right where we are right now. Be the first one to ever do it in the history of the show.
You'd be standing right here. And so, again, go to omaze.com/Robin for all the details. $10 could win it. Somebody got a date with George Clooney for $10 when he did this on Omaze.
That's right. It's going to be fun.
One of you is going to be here. We'll see you.